Well, welcome back. I'm going to take a look at a couple of magazines I found. This is a special anniversary issue, 20 years of hot rodding. Hot rodding. Smoky Yannick talks Buick 400 GS test differential rebuild. Tussle points finals crack patching cast iron blocks and eggs. Hot Raw magazine. 1948 photo by Pete. Dry Lakes were site of early hot rod magazine material gathered. Keeping the car out front. 1948, the first cover shot of Eddie Hulse, who held SCTA Class C Roadster record with 136.05 point car belonged to Reg Schlemmer. First issue at 24 pages. Early car shows provided opportunity for public viewing of hot rods. Events were often involvement of Peterson, Lindsay, and clubs. 1953, here with Jack McGrath. Peterson was involved with Mexican road race. Shows were used for subscription sign-ups. Peering over the lid of his straight 8 and Studebaker Power Lakes rig, Tony Campana had what represented then popular cars. What streamline. Up and down the California coast, dirt track roadsters were coming into their own. Refinements of the ones shown came later. Early timing equipment at the lakes was crude by today's standards, but a chance to run was an important item. Bob Roofy shocked everybody. Car had three-port Olds head on Chevy 4-banger, washing machine lid covers. Yesterday a racer, today a racer. Lou Bain, Prexy Rosetta Timing Association when this photo was taken. Roadsters soon graduated to asphalt and bank surfaces. Here's a tangle between two T-types. After World War II, young rodders returned to the Dry Lakes, as did the Flathead Ford. Claimed at one time the world's fastest hot rod. This was Burke Francisco Tank. Hill David Duncan, Streamliner, had Dodge V8 Class B and C records at 230 plus. Car later crashed. Driver okay. First bonneville equipment was off the nosed Model T or A variety. Engines were flathead Fords and bodies were without fenders. Acton Miller sits abroad is number 13. And then came Bonneville. Salt Flats, that were the mecca of the flat-out rodder. Strip surfaces were worse than but they were a surface and did provide a place for off-street drag racing. Patrolman Bud Coons, later a member of NHRA's drag safari team, was one of the first links between the law and drag racers. By today's standards, early drag racing was almost comical, but it was a beginning. A leader then, as today, Wally Parks is shown here with Trophy Queen and Chief Bandito, Joaquin Arnett. Check feature on car in this issue. Popular early drag vehicles were the street roadsters. Here you can see a couple of them smoking off at the old Santa Ana Airport strip. Note the proximity of stage cars, photographers and spectators. The engine of the time was still Stromberg's Ford. Another early strip was located at Paradise in Mesopotamia, or wherever. Also a familiar sight was the Flagman, since so-called Christmas tree was still several years distant. Lines were marked for car or cycle. Suede shoes and the early forward were in the in combo. As the magazine Hot Rod was flourishing as a sport, drag racing burst upon the scene. Sure you remember Caballo de Here took Hot Rod into the Mexican road race with Roadster. I also know Miller, A.K. Miller, Doug Harrison, Ray Brock, Racer, Brown and all. Another Hot Rod involvement was Daytona Speed Run Plymouth. Car set records at Daytona Beach. Wally Parks in car. Ray Brock also drove. History maker was the dual-engine Bustle Bomb, one Olds and one Cadillac. His first drag car to better 150 miles per hour. Winner of first NHRA Nationals, Calvin Rice was big in following year. Lower was mounted front of engine. Every Hot Rodder's buddy, Stroker McKirk. Stroker pioneered through the pen of Tom Medley many Hot Rodder ideas. Stroker had first drag shoot. A first probe in unifying drag racing, drag safari, toured country in 1954-56. First man into the 10-second bracket, Jim Jazzy Nelson, campaigned his fuel-burning flathead Ford Fiat for 2 historic years. Nelson brought car to the first NHRA Nationals, fought Hemi successfully. One of the true pioneers of hot rod parts making, Ed Iskandarian, shown here in the Roadster of the 48 Hot Rod cover. Ed has his car today, and that's his son Ron. Advertisers, of course, played an important role in both the book and hot rod movement. Fred Offenhauser, a name you recognize, in khakis, stands with some of his shopmates. Fran Hernandez, at right, is presently with FOMO Co. Right up our one-of-a-kind taste. Make your own good times tonight. Now in a huge new building and in the hands of his son, Vic Jr., the Edelbrock Company, Vic Sr. shown here, laid groundwork for speed parts. Blue Heron Air. More luxury and economy flights all over the world. Well, that's the end of that magazine. Take a look at this one now. Everybody's Automotive Magazine. Dirt track racing, Midwestern style. Dirt track in Midwestern style. Text and photos by Eric Rickman. No question about it, when it comes to all-out action, this kind of racing is hard to beat. Number 12 was built by owner racer Kenny Gritz of Lincoln, Nebraska. Typical of the low-budget home-built cars, this little runner is tube frame with suicide leaf spring front suspension on a solid axle. Rear end uses 2-bar leading arm setup with Lincoln shoe brakes and Buick drums. Flagman never uses yellow if drivers can dodge. Small block Chevy punched and stroke 339 cubes is the most popular engine with mag and injectors plus camming for horses. Jack and gear extends forward to adjust right wheel loading. Note steering arm linkage and number of ratio adjustments. Roger Rager, a second generation driver, shows a lot of potential. The race. For racing enthusiasts, the Indy 500 is the epitome of the sport. Far from the runway, it was predicted to be. The 68 version may go down as one of the classics of all time. Can you believe second in a stock block Ford? Not only that, but Garney's Eagles placed 1, 2, and 4. Dan's Fords were the only 2 to finish the race. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy. The midship gearbox in front of the turbine engine actually houses a special wide roller chain that drives a side-mounted full-length driveline. Zark's lodge's back of the exhaust stack is part of an arm or shield made of titanium, surrounding compressor stages. Tiger tails and crewmen surround Unser and pits. Goodyear's went route. The race. Well, that's it for these magazines. I'll be seeing you later in the next video. Bye-bye.